Arizona has some of the strictest DUI laws in the country. Here are the different types of DUIs and the penalties. To be charged with a DUI in Arizona, the government has to prove 1, that you were driving, or 2, that you were in what's called actual physical control of the motor vehicle, which means even if you're sitting in the vehicle and the keys are in the ignition, the air conditioning is running, and the lights are on, you could still be charged with a DUI. If during this traffic stop, the officer gets some sort of suspicion that you may be driving under the influence, he's going to take you out of the car, put you through a series of field sobriety tests, may ask you about any prior consumption. If he has probable cause for arrest, you will be arrested, taken to the station, and asked to submit to a chemical test. So what is it that makes Arizona's DUI penalty so tough? It's because we have a certain mandatory minimum penalty structure depending on a person's blood alcohol concentration. In Arizona, for a misdemeanor DUI offense, we've got 4 categories. The first is an allegation that you're impaired to what's called the slightest degree by drugs or alcohol. This carries a mandatory minimum 10 days in jail. The next is an allegation that you've got a BAC of 0.08 or greater, but something less than 0.15%. This is kind of your standard regular DUI. It carries the same penalties as being impaired to the slightest degree. For an extreme DUI, which means there's an allegation that your blood alcohol concentration is greater than 0.15 but less than a 0.20, you're looking at a mandatory minimum 30 days in jail. For a super extreme DUI, the highest level that we have, meaning the allegation is your BAC is 0.20 or greater, you're looking at a mandatory minimum 45 days in jail. In addition to the minimum jail time, you're looking at a requirement to have the ignition interlock device in your vehicle for a period of 12 months. A possible 90-day suspension of your driving privileges, 8 points on your license, a requirement to complete a drug and alcohol screening in the required number of classes, traffic survival school, and a Mothers Against Drunk Driving Victim Impact Panel. Now, let's not forget, there's going to be a mandatory minimum fine of at least $1,600 and upwards of $4,000. There are tens of thousands of DUI arrests in Arizona every year, but with a good defense, you can reduce the jail time and minimize some of those penalties. If you have any questions about a DUI here in Arizona, shoot me a text.